We're now deep into the summer, and that means new releases are getting a bit thin on the ground. But it doesn't mean that there aren't some big games for us to look forward to. Today, here at 131XR, we're going to take a look at some of the best, most exciting MetaQuest games that are coming down the line. We're going to start with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City. Now, this is a game that was recently revealed, and to be honest, we don't really know much about how it plays yet. The trailer that they revealed for the game doesn't actually show any gameplay, it's just a bit of a teaser. But what we do know is that you're going to be taking on the roles of each of the Ninja Turtles and learning their different movesets with their different abilities, different weapons and combat options, and taking on the Foot Clan in a head-to-head battle. Exactly how that will play out is yet to be seen, but I'm thinking it's going to be kind of like similar to Deadpool, almost, in a way that you embody each of the Ninja Turtles and engage in combat, maybe similar to Batman Arkham Shadow. Let us know what you think about this game in the comments below. Next up, we're going to be talking about the next title from N-Dreams Studios in the UK, Reach. Now, this is a highly anticipated game. N-Dreams have developed some of the most critically acclaimed VR action titles of recent years, and Reach looks set to be following that same path. It's a game that's about full body awareness. You want to be involved with your whole body at all times. It's going to mix exploration, climbing and running and so on, as with the combat structure that has become very popular of recent, specifically archery. The archery element of Reach has been showcased quite significantly with your mechanical, electrified bow that you'll be using, but there are also traditional firearms in the game, so if you're not a big fan of bow and arrows, don't worry about it. There'll be plenty of action for you with more traditional guns available. The original Unseen Diplomacy was a huge title in VR when it first launched. It was massively popular amongst the early VR crowd, and Unseen Diplomacy 2 is getting quite a bit of attention as well. Now, this is a game in which you take on the role of a spy, and you literally have to navigate environments with the idea of spy action. This isn't a combat-heavy simulation or anything like that. We're not talking like GoldenEye style spy. We're talking creeping and crawling and navigating through dangerous hazards and so on as a spy. It's another game that's being developed right here in the UK, although by a much smaller studio than N-Dreams. But it's a studio that has developed several titles in VR and has got a very good reputation for high quality productions. So Unseen Diplomacy 2 is definitely one that should be on your radar. We're stepping back to the big franchises now with Deadpool VR, or to be more accurate, Marvel's Deadpool VR. Now, this game was unveiled at the Game Awards and has got some significant hype around it. We've also seen that press and influencers have recently managed to get some time hands-on with the game and have come away pretty excited. So obviously, you should be too. The game has come in late in 2025 and has you embody Deadpool. It's an action game, supposed to be pretty humorous. If you like the style of the Deadpool films, you're probably going to like this, despite the fact there is no Ryan Reynolds in the game, although he did make a cheeky poke at that himself online. The game is an exclusive to MetaQuest 3, so if you're sitting back there on your MetaQuest 2, I'm afraid you're going to miss out on this one. But MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest 3S will both run this game when it comes out late in 2025. We're going to stick with the big franchises for a minute, but not a film franchise or a cartoon franchise, however you see Turtles and Deadpool. We're going to go now to a big gaming franchise, and one that's been left in the dark for quite some time. Fif VR Legacy of Shadow is coming at some point in 2025, and honestly, I've always liked the Fif games and their ups and downs, but this one looks set to break the mold. It's going to bring all the traditional Fif style gameplay, all the sneaking around in the darkness and stealing keys, pickpocketing, breaking into places and stealing treasures and so on, but it's going to amp it all up with the immersion that VR can bring. The game is being developed by Maze Theory, another UK studio, and one that has a great reputation at adapting big IPs into VR experiences. So Fif VR is pretty much at the top of my radar right now. What do you guys think about it? Are you excited for this game too? Make sure you let me know. And we have yet another franchise now, World War Z. This is a game that obviously was a popular book, and then it became a Brad Pitt vehicle, but the World War Z game stands alone. This is a game that has garnered a lot of attention on PC and consoles for being a co-op experience in which you fight hordes of zombies. And we're not talking like Left 4 Dead style horde zombies, we are talking thousands of them on screen at any one time. The VR edition strips back on the co-op. You're only going to have AI co-op buddies rather than being able to play multiplayer. And it does strip down those zombie numbers. Obviously, we're talking standalone VR hardware here. But even so, the developers have promised that the amount of zombies you're going to see on screen is still going to be very high and very impressive. Of course, you'll have all sorts of guns and armory and whatever else to take on these zombie hordes, and the game still plays as A to B linear point. I don't know if you want to call it an extraction shooter. It's not really extraction, but it still plays in a, here's the map, run through the map, hit specific checkpoints and take care of the zombies that are trying to hound you down before you can reach your exit. And for that, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good experience, even if playing solo. This one is actually coming pretty soon. It's set to launch in August 2025, so make sure you check this one out when it arrives. Next up, we're going to talk about a new game from another studio that developed their reputation early on in VR, and are coming back now with a brand new experience. Neat Corporation made their name with budget cuts, and that was a very popular game on original, early, tethered VR headsets, PC VR headsets. And now, Neat Corporation, they seem like they're done with budget cuts after multiple editions and repackagings and so on, and are moving on to a game called Crossings. Now, Crossings very much sounds like it's going to be a unique experience. The idea here is that you enter a world in which it's got NPCs that you can engage with and attack and whatever else, but it also has other players. Now, the difference is, these other players have no form of communication other than visual. There is no voice talk. So, do you team up with this random player that you've met in this world and have no idea who they are, and hope that they're not going to stab you in the back as you're adventuring together? Or do you become the aggressor and take out that player and steal their goodies? Are you going to be the nice guy in a world where there's no consequences for being the bad guy? You can find out for yourself when Crossings launches sometime in 2025, we believe. Next up, we've got a game that I personally am really looking forward to. It's called How to God, and it's a god simulation game. Harking right back to the 90s and games like Populous, this is a game in which you have a world and you have a pet in this world which you are to raise however you see fit. And the way in which you raise this pet affects the way in which your world develops. It's a pretty simple concept, but games like this have a lot of detail in them to make them interactive, to make how you, as the player, engage with the world, develop it in different and unique ways. The developers are also touting some kind of multiplayer for this, and that doesn't necessarily grab me as much. The single player campaign, though, is something that I'm really looking forward to. And How to God is another game that's coming very soon. We don't have a specific date, but as far as I'm aware, it's sometime this summer. So make sure you keep an eye on the Meta Horizon store. Once again, we're heading back here to the UK to talk about Titan Isles. Titan Isles is developed by the same studio that did Windlands 2, and much earlier Crystal Rift for the tethered PC VR way back when. And now Titan Isles is their new game, which seems to be some kind of marriage of the technology and the mechanics of Windlands and Titanfall. And if that doesn't excite you enough, the whole game is playable in co-op, so you can go adventuring through unique worlds with your buddies. Titan Isles is set for release later this year. Again, we don't have a specific release date, but the developer has assured us 2025 is when it's on the radar. So make sure you keep an eye out for this one. Finally, we come to a game that's a bit more adult themed. Memoriam has been described as Dead Space in VR. So, I mean, if you're a fan of sci-fi horror, what's not to like here? The game is being developed by Patient 8 Games and is set for release in October. As a horror game, you know, there's no better time, right? Just like the Dead Space series, it's going to combine horror elements and exploration and action sequences into a game that obviously is going to be quite immersive given the nature of VR technology. So if you're looking for something new, a bit of horror that's not walking around a creepy house or having ghosties pop out and so on, Memoriam might be the one for you. So those are our top picks for our most anticipated MetaQuest games right now. Did we include your favourites, or did we miss one out? Make sure you let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.